We be live, except on Twitter for some reason. Why is it? Oh, lost access. It does. Okay. Today, should we go? Okay, guys, like the stream. Let me reconnect to Twitter. Apparently, we have lost connection. There we go. We're back. Okay, good. So we should be live on Twitter as well. Now, no, never mind. Twitter is playing games with us. Never mind. We'll be live on YouTube, but not on Twitter today, which is fine. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know why Twitter is messing up. Guys, make sure you like the stream. Make sure you leave comments. Hi, Sarah. Sarah is highlighting your comments. Sarah, the Iranian UK Iranian. So we have, guys, we have an American Israeli Sarah, and we have an Iranian UK citizen, UK Iranian Sarah as well, who highlights the comments. So your comments are going to be highlighted during the show. The Iranian Sarah is today highlighting your comments. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for being here. So, as promised, I'm going to be reviewing some bad, horrible takes on what happened in Amsterdam. By the way, before I show you the bad takes, the horrible, insane, like this is so gross, so disgusting. I'm horrified, but also I'm not surprised. Let me know if you like me showing you bad, because I show you a lot of good takes from Iran, from the opposition, from the people, from the anti-regime people who are pro-Israel, anti-regime in Iran. I show you a lot of that, and that's a lot of fun to watch, like a lot of Iranian people who support Israel. But sometimes I want to show you the other side as well, the mullahs, the pro-regime people, the bad takes, the horrible people coming from Iran as well. Let me know if you want to see more of that, so you guys get the other side as well. Let me know in the live chat if that's good. But guys, our live stream for people who are new here. Our live streams is with the live chat. Like it's not just me hosting the show. The live chat is hosting the show as well. Sarah is making you part of the hosting process, because your comments are being highlighted all the time. And also Sarah will star some of your comments. That way, I think I know what's wrong with Twitter. That way I will read them. And I also read the super chats. Oh, I know why it didn't work on Twitter. Let me figure it out now. Let me see. Okay. Because I think it needs to connect to Atheist Republic, not my personal Twitter account. That was the issue. Now we are live on Twitter as well. Okay, fantastic. So we're now live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter or X, whatever. So somebody's saying, I disagree. I disagree with what? With what? What are you disagreeing with? Be more clear. I want to know what your disagreements are. All right. So before I show you this guy's bad take, let me get some people up to speed with what the hell we're talking about. This is a 1-minute summary for people who have no idea what we're talking about. So let's watch this 1 minute, and then we'll get to the bad takes.
There is more fallout tonight from what Dutch and Israeli leaders are describing as clashes and attacks on Israeli soccer fans in Amsterdam late last week. Raf Sanchez is in Tel Aviv. Raf, what's the latest?
Lester, police say there is more unrest in Amsterdam tonight, though there's no sign that Israelis are being targeted. Meanwhile, prosecutors are still piecing together what happened last week and say more arrests are expected. We know that tensions in the city were high before the attack. Amsterdam's mayor says there was talk on social media of a, quote, Jew hunt, and that assailants used scooters for hit-and-run attacks. But footage also allegedly shows Israeli fans attacking people, ripping down Palestinian flags, and chanting anti-Arab slurs. Israel is now warning its citizens to stay away from sporting events because of the threat of violence, including the Israeli national soccer team's game in Paris on Thursday. Lester?
Thanks for watching.
All right, so that was a 1 minute update on what the hell this was. So now I'm going to show you what this mullah is saying, and prepare to be outraged, okay? If you're not outraged with this mullah, I don't know, there's something wrong with you, just like this mullah. All right, let's see what he has to say. I will translate for you guys.
اتفاق داره میفته عزیزان. چرا این اتفاق داره میفته؟ این چوبی که داره تو آستین اینا میره از کجا اومده؟ میخوام یه
Oh, okay. So let's go back a little bit. So he's talking about. Let's go back because he mentioned the soccer game first. Oh, maybe I should download this so that I don't have to worry about buffering. Here. Oh, wait. Actually, this is interesting because he was showing something in Iran. If you go a little bit backwards, look, like he's showing a truck in Iran that carries shit, and they put Netanyahu's face at the back of the truck so that when shit comes out of the truck, it comes out of Netanyahu's face. So he was laughing at that. He was enjoying that.
از دهن این آدم خارج نمیشه. خیلی ابتکارتو دوست داشتم هموطن. درود به شرفت.
So he's saying I really enjoyed that creativity, and he said like he praised the person who came up with that.
بریم یه صحبت مهمی داشته باشیم در رابطه با اتفاقاتی که در آمستردام افتاد که یه بازی فوتبالی بود اسرائیل و آژاکس ظاهرا در آمستردام هلند و بعد از بازی
So he's mentioning that there was a soccer game in the Netherlands between a French team and an Israeli team.
آقا طرفدارای اسرائیل رو به شکل مبسوطی کتک زدن.
And said after the game, the fans of the Israeli team, they basically they beat the crap out of them in a very aggressive way, in a very overwhelming way.
در حدی که چند نفر مفقود شدن، در حدی که اسرائیل از سرزمین‌های اشغالی نتانیاهو دو تا
It's like it was so intense that some of them were beaten severely. It was so bad that Israel had to send planes to the Netherlands.
هواپیمای امدادی فرستاده هلند برای اینکه این هم
Yeah, an Iranian in the live chat is saying like, look, Armin, how much he's saying it in a when he said that they were beaten severely, he's putting a lot of emphasis on the severely, like he's like as if he's enjoying it, but it gets worse. Hold on. Okay, let's go.
هم کیشانش رو نجات بده از زیر چوب و چماق.
Look, he's laughing. So he said that the Israelis sent planes to try to save the Israelis being beaten up by batons and sticks. So all he's laughing when he says the Israelis under the beatings, the severe beatings of batons and sticks. When he says that, he starts laughing.
این هم کیشانش رو نجات بده از زیر چوب و چماق. البته یکی از هلندی‌ها خودش میگه با ما کاری به اینا نداشتیم، اینا دور هم جمع شده بودن اومدن مسلمان‌ها رو اذیت کردن، ما هم در انتقام این کار زدیم چوب تو آستینشون کردیم. اینم همچین بی تقصیرم.
He said, but some of them are saying that, hey, we didn't actually attack them. They were coming on to attack us, and then we beat the crap out of them because they were here to beat us. So he's trying to put the blame on the other side. But see how he was enjoying the part that he was enjoying Israelis being beaten up. Like he started laughing when he got to the part that the Israelis were being beaten up.
هم نبودن خودشون. ولی جالبه نوشته وعده صادق 3 آمستردام بود، وعده صادق 4 پاریس فرانسه است، وعده صادق 5 در بلژیکه. حالا اون بازیشون
So he's now saying, so you know how the Islamic Republic so far has done 2 operations in response to Israeli attacks on the Islamic Republic officials or some retaliatory responses. So the missiles that the Islamic Republic has sent towards Israel, the first one was called Wa'ad Sadiq 1, the second one was called Wa'ad Sadiq 2, and now they're making fun and saying like, okay, so the retaliatory response, Wa'ad Sadiq 3, is in Amsterdam, number 4 will be in Paris, and number 5 will be in Belgium. So he's promising that Israelis, so this was apparently their 3rd retaliation against Israelis, and he's promising that there will be more to come, more attacks on Israelis will come in Paris and in Belgium. By the way, this is on YouTube, the promises of retaliatory attack against Israeli citizens in other countries like France and Belgium. This is being announced on YouTube by this Mullah. This Mullah has a YouTube channel making this promise.
تموم شد تو هلند، بازی بعدی تو فرانسه، بازی بعدیش تو 3 روز بعد از اون تو بلژیکه. اونجا هم قراره این اتفاق تکرار بشه و با چوب و چماق بیفتن به جون طرفدارای صهیونیست، نه
Oh, and he says like, oh, so this is their excuse that they're making. He says like, oh, this is actually a very key important part for you guys to understand, right? Because he's saying that these attacks are against Zionists, not Jews, Zionists, okay? So remember, people try to get away from, hide behind the fact that they're anti-Zionist instead of anti-Jewish or anti-Semite by calling Jews Zionists. So see how you didn't identify who, like these are just Israeli people, right? And the excuse for why they're fair game to beat is that, hey, we're just anti-Zionist, not anti-Jewish. So you see how that excuse, how far that excuse goes. So now the excuse of, hey, we're just anti-Zionist, not anti-Jewish, is going as far as making excuses for just finding Israeli citizens in Amsterdam and apparently France and Belgium later and just beating the crap out of them. And like, hey, we're not anti-Jewish. These people were Zionists. That's how far this excuse is now being used for. So, great.
اونجا هم قراره این اتفاق تکرار بشه و با چوب و چماق بیفته. بعد از اون تو بلژیکه اونجا هم قراره این اتفاق.
So he repeats, he says like, okay, so this is going to happen again. We are going to repeat this in France and then in Belgium. So he confirms that this is going to happen. We are promising this to happen again.
اتفاق تکرار بشه و با چوب و چماق بیفتن به جون طرفدارای صهیونیست، نه یهودیا، صهیونیست‌ها. چرا این اتفاق؟
So he says Zionistan, not Yehudis. Like, oh, we're just anti-Zionist, not Jewish people. So imagine this: you just go and find Israeli people and do whatever you want with them, but you're saving great, like your excuses, like, hey, we're just beating the crap out of this random Israeli person in the streets, but don't blame us. We're just being anti-Zionist. What the hell?
اتفاق داره میفته عزیزان. چرا این اتفاق داره میفته؟
So now this is the important part. He says, why is this happening? Let me explain to you why this is happening.
این چوبی که داره تو آستین اینا میره از کجا اومده؟ میخوام یه رمز.
So he's saying the stick that is being used to hit these people, where has this stick come from? Pay attention.
گوشای اول از این بکنیم این چوبه از کجا اومد. حتما دیدید اون صحنه‌ای که یحیی سنوار در آخرین لحظات عمر با عزت و افتخار انگیزش چوبی رو پرت کرد به سمت اون پهپاد اسرائیلی و جا خالی داد. یکی از دوستان
So he says, I'm sure you all have seen the glorious last moments of Yahya Sinwar when he threw that stick, right? So basically he's saying the stick that people are using to hit the Israeli people in Amsterdam, that was the stick that Yahya Sinwar threw at all of us for us to grab and continue his work. So he says that's where the stick is coming from.
یه تعبیر خیلی قشنگی داشت، دلم نیومد این تعبیر رو براتون نگم. این میگفتش که آج آقا اون چوبی رو که یحیی سنوار پرت کرد سمت پهپاد، نمیخواست پهپاد اسرائیلی رو بزنه، پرت کرد اون چوب رو که آزادی خواهان عالم اون چوب رو بگیرن و با.
So he says that when Yahya Sinwar, when he threw that stick, Sarah, this Han guy is an idiot. Don't highlight him. He's a moron. I just star some of his comments for me to respond to him for comedic reasons. He's the special idiot that we keep in our live chat for comedic reasons. Don't highlight him unless I have the chance to respond to him, because those are the special comments that I keep in my pocket whenever we need some comedic relief. So
پرت کرد اون چوب رو که آزاد.
Also check the private chat, sir.
آزادی خواهان عالم اون چوب رو همین میگفتش که آج آقا اون چوبی رو که یحیی سنوار پرت کرد سمت پهپاد، نمیخواست پهپاد اسرائیلی رو بزنه، پرت کرد اون چوب رو که آزادی خواهان عالم اون چوب رو بگیرن و با اون چوب مقابل ظلم و ظالم بایستن. به حرف خیلی زیبایی زد. گفتش آج آقا دیدی توی مسابقه
So this part is, God, this is so insane. This is so insane. So he says that when Sinwar, when he threw that stick, he was not throwing that stick to hit the drone. He was throwing that stick because he was being recorded, for that stick, he was throwing it for all the freedom fighters, or all the freedom-loving people in the world to grab that stick and continue his work. And what you're seeing in Amsterdam, that's all the freedom-loving people in the world grabbing that stick and basically carrying on Sinwar's work in Amsterdam.
ورزشی از مسابقه دویی هست که یه چوبی رو یه دونده با خودش حمل میکنه و به نفر بعد.
Is it like, do you see, for example, in sports, do you see that there's I don't know what it's called when people run and they're carrying a stick and they have to pass it to the next person for the next person to carry it, and then and the next person starts running. He says this is what this was. So Yahya Sinwar was running, and then he got to us and he passed on the stick to us, and now we're running forward with this thing. So what is that? You guys know which sport I'm talking about? What is that called? I don't know what that's called. When somebody's running, and then they hand on the stick to the next person, and the next person starts running. Oh, relay? Is that what it's called? Relay? Okay. El Rito is saying this is effing stupid. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So okay. People are calling us called relay. Yeah. So that's what he's saying. This is what's happening.
بعدی میده اون چوب رو که اون نفرم میگیره، باز میبره میرسونه به نفر بعدی تا به خط پایان برسن. یحیی سنوار دقیقاً مثل همون دونده‌ای که چوب در دستش بود، چوب مبارزه با ظلم و ظالم رو به نفر بعدی داد، به آزادی خواهان دنیا داد. و این اتفاقی که در آمستردام افتاده و ادامه هم پیدا خواهد کرد در واقع میراث یحیی سنوار هست که یک چوبی رو برای مبارزه با ظلم به دست مردم دنیا و آزادی.
Yeah, so he says that's the what Yahya Sinwar has left behind for us.
خواهان دنیا داد. این تصویری که دارید میبینید که صهیونیست‌ها.
And look at the picture he has on his, look at the picture that they put on the screen. They're showing a Jewish person with a kippah, and then is like the Israeli flag themed kippah, and then all of these people with the sticks. And with the theme of the Palestinian flag, and they're celebrating this like this. Look, they are celebrating basically hunting down Israeli citizens and going after them. This is like disgusting. Hamid, okay, so like let me actually respond to this. Hamid saying, is this really shocking? Hamid, it should be shocking. If this is not shocking, there's something wrong with you. We should, even though we expect this from these mullahs, we should make an attempt to not let this be normal. So no matter how many times you see this happening, we should make an attempt for us to be shocked by this. This should not be normalized. Yes, it is shocking. Don't let the fact that this is just happening so much for it not to be shocking. We have to treat it as shocking, because we refuse to live in a world where this is the norm. So the number, the repetitive nature of this discussing takes, it might take the shock away from us, and we have to, your expression of shock reminds the world that this is not okay. Let me know if you agree with this. By the way, guys, please like the stream. I need more people to see what the fuck these people believe.
رو مردم دنیا آزادی خواه با چوب میزنند. علتش همون کاری هست که یحیی سنوار عزیز، این مرد بزرگی که در واقع خود اسرائیلی ها کاری کردند، اسطوره و افسانه ای از یحیی سنوار ساخته شد تا
So he says, like, this great man, the Israelis themselves helped turn this man into a legend.
تاریخ است. تا روز قیامت نام و یاد این مجاهدان از قلب مردم پاک نخواهد شد. مرد بزرگی که علاوه بر اون ویدیویی که در آخرین لحظات زندگی غرورانگیزش منتشر.
Guys, by the way, like, remember, when we are on this channel, when we are trying to talk about terrorism and anything related to that, we have to be so careful with YouTube, telling people that we're just reporting the news, we're reporting other people's beliefs. This is not our opinion. And even then, we still get like hit a couple of times once in a while. But this guy is just basically outright on his YouTube channel coming out and basically promoting a terrorist, in every sense of the word, a terrorist. And he's telling him that he's a legend and promising that we will continue his way on YouTube. I don't understand. Why do we? I mean, I'm not saying, I'm not suggesting that YouTube should do anything. I don't know, but I'm just saying, why is it so easier for our channels to get hit with strikes and shit like that, and their channel is just like outright promoting terrorism, and they're just completely fine on YouTube. I don't understand how this works. Somebody explain.
نشر شد، باز هم بعد از اون اسرائیل سوتی‌های دیگه‌ای داد و این اسطوره رو به شکلی دست نیافتنی کرد که تاریخ دوباره به سختی بتونه مانند او رو در خودش تجربه بکنه.
He's basically suggesting that Israel made a mistake, that they made this person into a legend. You know what? What I say to this always is like, you guys keep, it's fine, okay? You guys, all those types of victories for you, right? On the Israeli side, the types of victories that we could, that is objectively, you know, noticeable, that you can see that you guys are dying. You guys, your leaders are basically being eliminated. You're being taken out. Your infrastructure is being decimated. Your weapons are being blown to pieces. Let Israel have those types of victories, and the victories that you guys want, that all of like the victories of martyrdom, the victories of turning into legends, leaving a legacy behind. I don't know, all the feel good, all the types of victories that you actually need to explain to somebody why that's a victory. All of that for you guys. You know, you guys want to be martyrdom is victory, right? I hope you become victorious. I hope all of you become victorious. All those. I hope you get your dreams. I hope you actually reach your goal. And you know, you want martyrdom. Israel is helping you get to your goal. Okay, so all of those types of, you know, victories for you guys, the ones that you actually need to explain why it's a victory. But the types of victory, let us have for Israel the types of victories that doesn't need explanation. Okay, when we just look at the chart of your leaders and we see which ones they have been taken out, and it doesn't require any explanation anymore. Let Israel have those types of victories. Those should be for Israel. By the way, I have some other bad takes, horrible bad. Let me see if there's anything this guy says that requires explanation. Okay, thank you, Sarah.
اخباری که حتما شنیدید منتشر کردن که ما کالبد شکافی روی معده یحیی سنوار انجام دادیم و متوجه شدیم 3 روز پیش از شهادتش این مرد هیچ چیزی نخورده بود.
He's saying that they opened his stomach after he died, and they realized that Sinwar had not eaten anything 3 days before he died. So he's trying to turn him into a bigger hero. I don't know where to get this information from, but whatever.
یعنی در لحظه شهادت 3 روز هیچ چیز نخورده بوده، گرسنه و تشنه مانند ابی عبدالله و یارانش در کربلا.
So he's saying just like the imams of Shias, just like Imam Hussein, who died in Karbala and he died thirsty and hungry, basically Sinwar died the same way, which is funny because Sinwar is a Sunni, and another Sinwar basically used Shia symbolism, even though he was a Sunni, to try to get like Shias from Iran, get the sympathy for more Shias from Iran. So he did use narratives and symbolism from Karbala, but he's basically saying Sinwar died in the same way Hussein died, because he was thirsty and hungry for 3 days in the last moments. And again, I just want to say this is great. I hope you all become victorious like Hussein was victorious, dying hungry and thirsty without achieving fucking anything, right? Like that. I hope more of you, this is the victory, like your role model. By the way, guys, if these people, these Shias, their role model is not Muhammad, okay? Their guide to life is not the Quran, even though they claim it is. It's basically, they believe their actual religion is a trinity of Ali, Hussein, and Fatima, which the most important one being Hussein. I mean, it depends. So for some people is Ali, for some people is Hussein. So Hussein is the role model, and this is why you fucking lose all the time, because your role model is an idiot who went into battle with no fucking army, and his ass was handed over to him, and you act like he was victorious, even though he was an idiot that took women and children into a battle that was a non-winnable battle. This is why you keep losing, because you keep following the idiot Hussein into unwinnable battles. Yeah, so let me see if he actually
لبان
has
تشنه و شکم گرسنه، اینها به شهادت رسون. یحیی سنوار هم به همین شکل بود و جمله ترند شده بود از ایشون که درود بر سنوار در لحظه‌ای که به شهادت رسید و خیلی جالب بود. خداوند رحمتشون کنه.
All right, so that was that. But let me actually give you some good news. Paris will deploy 4,000 police officers for France-Israel soccer match following Amsterdam violence. So that's good. However, just please always remember that the fact that Israelis require 4,000 police officers to go watch a soccer match shows why we need Zionism, shows that why we need Israel. Okay, so these idiots are basically showing us why Israel is required to exist as a country. So the more you see how unsafe Jews are around the world, the more determined you have to become when in supporting Israel and the Zionist project. Jews need a country where they can be safe because the hatred against Jews is the longest, deepest, most intense hatred that exists in the world. So just remember that. And also this one, I always have a hard time pronouncing his last name. Welders? Guys, help me out here, okay? I like this guy, but I never get his name right. Dutch lawmaker Wilders. I'm just gonna say Wilders. I know it's wrong, but I don't care. Somebody. Okay, no, I do care. Dutch lawmaker Wilders wants to deport those convicted of violence against Israeli soccer fans. Guys, are there any Dutch people here? Is this possible? Can they do this? I hope they can do this. Is this possible? Is this doable? Look at these motherfuckers. Oh my god, fuck you. Piece of shit. All right. Oh, I did. I said it correctly. Okay, fantastic. God, I hate these people so much. Oh my god. All right. Anyway. Great. Oh yeah, the first name is what I get wrong. Okay. Oh, you're Dutch. Okay, fantastic. All right, so Susie sent me a whole bunch of other bad takes, which we will now watch together. Let's see what the hell is happening here. Okay, so this person is saying, let me actually close those other ones. Sky News posted the truth about Israeli football hooligans in Amsterdam and then deleted it. They then posted disinformation instead. This underlines how the Western media is lying to you. Something is going to have to give. So let me see, what is this about? Let me know if you have the
This
audio.
is absolutely wild. Having worked in the British media now for 13 years, I have no illusions in it. But this episode has still shocked me. Now, before I explain what's happened with Sky News, and this really should be seen as a scandal, a quick recap. In Amsterdam this week, racist, genocidal Israeli football hooligans, supporters of Maccabi Tel Aviv, went on the rampage. They attacked a Moroccan cab driver. They interrupted a minute's silence for Spanish flood victims with fireworks and jeers. They sang songs such as Kill All Arabs, which is genocidal incitement and also specifically racist incitement in a city with an Arab population. They sang songs literally celebrating the slaughter of Palestinian children. They tore down Palestinian flags from people's homes.
Who's they? The entire Israeli crowd, every single one of them, or just some of them? Okay, is he trying to excuse the beating of just randomly finding Israeli soccer fans and beating the crap out of them because some of them said something wrong? Like, do you have a verification that the people who were being beaten were being selectively chosen? And also, is this a justification of the beating of people? I'm sure the pro-Palestinian side was basically they put on a very effective court, and like within hours they had like lawyers there looking at the evidence, and when they were beating the people up, they had a judge ready in the freaking streets going through the evidence, and then they had like I don't know what the fuck are you talking about. Is this a justification for beating random Israeli citizens in Amsterdam because some of them said something racist?
They threw things at people's homes. They were filmed.
But guys, this is your mind on collectivism. Okay, honestly, even if somebody who said something racist, you do not beat them. Okay, because if that's the standard that you want to introduce, do you know that the other side will not be able to survive? Let me actually continue this.
With iron bars masked up. And crucially, they violently attacked people in the streets. Now, in a striking example of how the world has been turned on its head, footage was taken by a Dutch photographer which showed Maccabi hooligans attacking a Dutch resident. Western media organizations then used this footage to suggest it was Maccabi fans being attacked. This was the context for attacks.
Dude, we have evidence of some of the people on the other side saying some racist shit, but we have so overwhelming evidence of the other side being fucking violent. What are you talking about? Why are you? Oh my gosh,
on Maccabi fans.
Yeah, I don't know where he's getting his information from. When I looked into the information of basically even media that is not pro-Israeli. The media that is not pro-Israel, media that is filled with condemnation of Israel and the war in Gaza, and all of them are saying that one side had some people who were doing some racist chants and shit like that. One guy pulled down a flag, but it was the pro-Palestinian side that went on full, I don't know, crazy with sticks and beating people up and hunting people in their hotels and looking for them in where they were staying and beating the crap out of people. Obviously, like that's what all the evidence shows. I don't know where he gets his information.
None of which I condone. I have to say, being continually accused with no evidence of any description of supporting violence by people who don't just support violence but support genocidal violence, support violence which.
Guys, even if you look at first of all, the genocidal violence that is supported, it comes way more, from the Palestinian side. In fact, almost all of it comes from the Palestinian side, the pro-Palestinian side. But what the fuck are you talking about? Even if somebody comes and express their support for genocide, you cannot go beat the crap out of them. You could highlight them, you could expose them, you could report them. Is he justifying people being beaten because of their opinions?
Slaughters countless children every day in Gaza, as you literally listen to me speak.
Yeah, guys, Gu is saying they will blame the Jews for everything. Yeah, guys, even in a situation where Jews are being hunted down in the city of Anne Frank. In the city of Anne Frank, Jews are being hunted down again. And even still, they find a way to blame the Jews. They still find a way to blame the Jews. What the fuck is this guy, by the way? It seems like a lot of you guys know who this guy is. I have no idea who this guy is. Let me know who this person is.
Well, as I'll keep saying, they really have turned the world on its head. The point is, this context was deliberately and deceitfully stripped away by Western media outlets and politicians who claimed this was a pogrom against Jewish people on the streets of Amsterdam. Now, Sky News having...
it was pogromish. What do you call people organizing, on social media in a systematic approach, organized systematic approach, basically announcing to each other that we're basically mentioning that we're going Jew hunting and going out and finding Jews and beating the crap out of them. I see why some people would say, that happened. Is he denying that happened? Because we have so much evidence of that happening. Is he denying that? I don't understand what his point is.
Been pushing comparisons with Kristallnacht on air. They actually did their job. they posted a video which accurately gave context. And do you know what they then did? They deleted it. Let's explore this further. But first,
the context, because okay, first of all, if they had deleted it, I understand why they would delete that, because it seemed like it was a justification. Because if you're not careful, you have to make sure that you frame it in a way that it's not justification for the other side. If some people, if your crowd comes and some of them in your crowd is chanting certain things that is racist, and then the other side is basically going out and finding every single Israeli citizen or Jewish person and beating the crap out of them, and then the media comes and frames it in a way that it seems like they're both siding it. They're like, one side had an organized attempt at Jew hunting, but while actually mentioning Jew hunting, and the other side had some people in it that said some racist things in there. But if you're trying to make it seem like these are equal, then yeah, I see why the fuck some people would tell them to take that fucking shit out. Because it seemed like these media, these traditional media didn't understand that basically they're doing what has historically always been done, which is finding a way to blame everything on the Jews. That's why maybe they took it down. I understand if they took it down. I don't trust this guy.
let me show you their original clip.
Violence in Amsterdam left at least 5 people injured and dozens.
By the way, I haven't pre-watched this, so I'm watching this with you guys. I have no idea what we're about to see.
They deleted it. Let's explore this further. But first, let me show you their original clip.
Violence in Amsterdam left at least 5 people injured and dozens have been arrested. But what happened? Supporters of Israeli football club Maccabi Tel Aviv arrived in Amsterdam ahead of their UEFA Europa League match against Amsterdam club Ajax. On Wednesday, social media videos verified by Sky News show Maccabi Tel Aviv fans tearing down Palestinian flags from outside of homes. Other social media videos appeared to show residents chasing Maccabi Tel Aviv fans. On Thursday, just before the game, crowds of Maccabi fans were filmed singing racist and anti-Arab songs. While a pro-Palestinian demonstration
Wait, what is that? What did they chant?
for the game, crowds of Maccabi fans were filmed singing racist and anti-Arab songs. While a pro-Palestinian demonstration had been banned by the mayor over fears there would be clashes. Later that evening during the match, Israeli supporters appeared to disrupt the minute silence for Valencia flood victims with chants, whistles and fireworks. Maccabi fans were seen attacking locals as a police car can be seen driving by. People with Palestinian flags were seen marching on the streets. Maccabi supporters say they were beaten and attacked on the streets of the Dutch capital, with videos showing some of the violence.
Say free Palestine and we go. Good.
Sky News could not independently verify all of the footage shown. Police arrested 62 people. 5 were taken to hospital, but have since been discharged. Israeli far-right ultras are notorious for their racism and physical violence. Dutch, Israeli and British leaders denounced the attacks as anti-Semitic and even referred to it as a pogrom.
Wait, what the fuck? This
For their racism. Israeli far-right ultras are notorious for their racism and physical violence. Dutch, Israeli and British leaders denounced the attacks as anti-Semitic and even referred to it as a pogrom. But their statements failed to mention the assaults by the Israeli hooligans against Dutch citizens.
As I say,
are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That video was disgusting. That video was a justification for the violence. Guys, do you understand that? Hey, the pro-Palestinian side, I know you don't care about Palestinian lives or Arab lives, but if you did, you understand that this standard would mean that the Palestinian side would never be safe? Do you understand how much racism anti-Semitism and call for genocide comes from the Arab and the pro-Palestinian side, would you guys, if there was a violent attack on a Palestinian, would you start by the video by mentioning that, hey, these Palestinians have chanted anti-Semitic and racist and genocidal chants before? Guys, imagine if tomorrow they found a Palestinian citizen and somebody beat the crap out of them, which you should not, that's horrible. That's a crime. You shouldn't do that, okay? Just for YouTube sakes, okay? Imagine if you make a video by first mentioning how many Arabs chant genocidal or anti-Semitic and racist. Oh my God, like, do you guys see how fucking insane that is? So guys, is this the new standard? This is a very dangerous standard that these people are setting. Never, they should be taking, of course they should take that down. They would never do that to the other side. Do you understand how insane it would be? You know how many people would get angry and would be contacting Sky News or whatever that was if they beat up a Palestinian, but the news started with, hey, let me actually put this in context. There are many Arabs who are genocidal, racist, and chant general things against all Jews. What the fuck? You have higher percentage on the Arab and the poor Palestinians. Hey guys, Israel has fucking racists. Did you guys know that? Every fucking country has racists. Why is that even fucking news? Every fucking country has racists. If you want to play that game, your side has more racists. Your side has more racists. Your side has more genocidal narratives. Fucking idiots. This is an these pro-Palestinian people are taking an anti-Palestinian position, because if this is the standard, then every attack on Palestinians will now be justified. Every attack on innocent civilian Palestinians now had to be put in the lens of, hey, but this is your mind on collectivism. This is when you, instead of judging people individually, when you judge them collectively, this is the disease, this is the result. This motherfucker, next time you see an attack on a Palestinian, is he going to come and say, well, okay, just to be clear, we first have to say that many Arabs are anti-Jewish racists. Like, let's say that first. Is he going to do that? Fuck you. What the fuck is this?
They then deleted this. Originally offering...
Good. They should. I'm pretty sure they deleted it because a lot of people contacted them and told them, motherfuckers, people have been hunted, Jews have been hunted down and beaten in the streets, and you are going to give us the context of some Israelis being racist? That's your fucking context? Fuck you. Do you understand how every crime could be put in that context? Every crime against any group of people, I'm sure that's the group of people that this crime is being acted on will have some of them. Like, I could do this against Yazidis. I could do this against ex-Muslims. I could do this against LGBT people. Next time somebody goes and beats up an LGBT person, I could be like, hey, let me actually show you a collage of, I don't know, LGBT people saying some insane shit. What the fuck? You focus on the fucking crime that is being committed. That should be a separate report. I'm not saying don't report on that, but don't make these things related. This is such an insane guys, this is why the standards on Jews is always different than every other fucking group of people. This is why I need to explain to you why this is insane. If this was done against any other group of people, it wouldn't need explanation. Imagine if there was we had like a police officer being unreasonably cruel and brutal to a black person when the police officer arrested that black person. And Sky News had a clip saying, hey, let me tell you this. They didn't give you the full context. The full context is that there were a lot of black people, not even that specific black person. There were other black people that were doing horrible things. And also, statistically, let me show you that black people commit more crimes and stuff. Let's have that. And then now let's go and talk about this police officer being unusually cruel to this one black person. Let us give that context first. You're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Are you excusing this police officer being unusually cruel to this person while they're arresting them? Like, that is not just an explanation. That is not a description of what happened. That's a justification. That is a justification. Is this not fucking obvious to you guys? Am I making sense to you? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand that any other group of people, if you had given that context, people will be calling you out? If you did this with LGBT, if you did this with black people, if you did this with Muslims. Imagine tomorrow somebody go and beat up a Muslim. And then before the news segment was saying like, hey, before we show you this, the context is that most terrorist activities in the world is done by Muslims. Okay, now let's put that. Now let's go and see this average random Muslim being beaten up, and now let's look at that. People will call that shit out.
No explanation whatsoever. They then posted another video they called a re-edit, which wasn't a re-edit at all. We'll come on to that. Accompanied with a tweet reading, editor's note, this is a re-edit of a previous video which didn't meet Sky News' standards for balance and impartiality. Not a re-edit. It was a completely different video. Then they deleted that and then uploaded a third version. Now, the brilliant academic and near namesake of mine, Mark Owen-Jones, an expert in disinformation, has done...
Yeah, they should have deleted that because that video seemed like it was justifying beating Israel. Guys, if you have some Israelis saying racist things, okay? The proper response is like, okay, look at that guy, get the shot. Who's that guy? Find his name, expose him. That's the proper response, okay? The proper response, like, first of all, that was not even a fucking response. As if the people who are going Jew hunting, as if they needed a fucking excuse. This was premeditated. This was planned. As if people who are proud of going Jew hunting, they're doing this only like, oh, they have no problem with Jews, but they did this specifically because, oh, you were being racist, and now I'm going to punish you for being racist. Fuck you. As if even if they were doing that in response, as if they had like a really proper system in place to identify who were exactly the people who did the chants. One side is being racist, the other side is beating the shit out of people, hospitalizing them. These are not the fucking same. And when I say one side, I'm also falling for the trap of having a collective mindset, because it's not the entirety of one side, it's some of the fucking people.
A detailed analysis of what Sky News did. Let me go through his thread. He says, this is nuts. After mysteriously deleting a package covering the Amsterdam protests, Sky News have put up a new version. The new version completely changes the thrust to emphasize that the violence was anti-Semitic. See the opening screenshot change below. Wait,
what?
Covering the Amsterdam protests, Sky News have put up a new version. The new version completely changes the thrust to emphasize that the violence was anti-Semitic.
Oh no! Oh no! Wow, the emphasis of the new version. How biased! How dare you emphasize on the fact that hunting Jews is anti-Semitic? Okay, wow, very biased, much biased.
See the opening screenshot change below. The image of the video changes from Israeli football fans attacked in Amsterdam, what we know, to what we know about anti-Semitic violence in Amsterdam. He then notes how the language was changed. In the first,
it was they were going Jew hunting. They said that they were doing it.
Accompanying the video, it says Maccabi Tel Aviv fans tore down Palestinian flags and chanted racist Arab slogans.
Yeah, that's bad, but it's in a completely different world from beating the shit out of people. What the fuck? I mean, it's not even tore down the flag. Okay, don't do that. Don't destroy other people's property. Okay. Oh, racist people. Okay, bad people being racist. That is on a completely different level of condemnation than people that take it upon themselves to go and find where these Jews are living, where they're sleeping at night, going into their place of residence, into their hotels, dragging them out and beating the crap out of them. Do you understand how far apart these are? Unbelievable.
The Israeli team supporters were attacked and fights took place in the streets. That's accurate. That was then changed completely to violence in Amsterdam, what we know so far. Police in Amsterdam arrested 62 people following violence in the city on Thursday night. The city's mayor, police force, UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy and others condemned anti-Semitic violence. It then inserts into the video footage of the Dutch Prime Minister condemning anti-Semitism. Mark Owen Jones notes they added an impact narrative and vox pops.
It is anti-Semitism. How is that not why should they not call that out? What the fuck? What does it? I don't understand. I don't even understand what his point is. He wants you not to call anti-Semitism anti-Semitism. Are these people you do not want to label hunting down Jews as guys? Can you tell me what the point is? Why is he so butthurt over calling Jew hunting anti-Semitism? Can somebody explain to me why is he butthurt over this? Because I'm at a loss. I don't understand what's happening here.
But only from a Maccabi fan, not a resident of Amsterdam. No one who was on the receiving end of violence from Maccabi hooligans. And this man says the attacks reminded him of the 7th of October.
Oh, so he's trying to just reduce it to a soccer thing, which wasn't. We know it wasn't. We know that this was Jew hunting. We have evidence for that.
Mark Owen Jones then notes the original report ends with the reporting saying that while politicians called it a pogrom, their statements failed to mention the assaults by Israeli hooligans.
What assaults? You have some of them being racist, one Palestinian flag being torn down, and one guy being intimidated. The assault was on the other side, who was beating the crap out of Jews.
Against Dutch citizens. He notes this was deleted. Why? That's what happened. It's accurate.
No, sir.
It's literally describing accurately what happened. Now,
Nope.
similarly, Sky News also edited their online article. As David Clark, former special advisor to the late Labour Foreign Secretary Robin Cook, notes, the chanting of Maccabi fans is no longer referred to as racist. Now, just to be clear what we're talking about, this chanting. We're talking about chants of kill all Arabs.
Okay, so I think my understanding of the chant is not killing all Arabs. I don't like the chant. I think when he says the IDF attacking the Arab side, and they're just identifying the terrorists, because IDF is not the chant that I saw was IDF succeeding at what it's doing, and IDF is not killing all Arabs. I don't like it when they identify the other side as Arabs, so I consider that racist in that sense, especially given that Israel itself has many Arabs. 20% of Israel is Arab, so I don't like the other side to be identified as Arabs. However, it wasn't a chant calling out for killing all Arabs. It is racist, but it's not what he said. It's not what he says it was.
Literally, mobs.
Oh yeah, the flag. Okay, the flag was physically and verbally assaulted. Okay, guys, a moment of silence for the Palestinian flag.
Of hooligans.
Stop calling them hooligans. What the, huh?
Literally, mobs of hooligans.
No, this was beyond just hooligans. This was a pre-planned attack on Israelis. As you saw at the beginning of the stream, I showed you that the people who are celebrating this, as you know, the goal is to continue what Yahya Sinwar has done. The goal is to make the world a much less safer place for Israelis, which is weird because that would work in favor of Zionism. Shouldn't you want the world to be safer for Israelis so that they leave Israel and go live somewhere else? You're making them want to go live in Israel. You're making them support Israel even more. And the goal is to continue this in other countries. You saw that. You saw what I showed you from Iran.
Who were behaving violently, rampaging around a European city, calling for the mass extermination of an entire ethnic group as their state slaughters Arab civilians, not least.
The state is not slaughtering Arab civilians. The state is saving the Arab civilians by taking out their fucking leaders. Oh, guys, do you want me to do a stream on Gazan citizens in much larger numbers that I've ever fucking seen, thanking the IDF for taking out Hamas? Do you want me to show? Should I do a stream on that? I think that would be a fun stream. It was one of the most heartwarming, hopeful videos I've ever fucking seen. Gazan citizens in much larger numbers that I've ever seen coming out to Israelis and telling them that we thank you for saving us from Hamas. We love Israel. We hate Hamas. Should I do a stream on that? Maybe let me know. I should do a stream on that. So no, fuck off. They're not killing Gazan civilians. Gazan civilians are being killed because Hamas uses them as human shield. So fuck off. IDF is there to kill Hamas, to take out Hamas, not the Gazan civilians. In fact, Israel would like nothing more to be able to give Gazans a better life so that they become de-radicalized. There's no benefit in just killing random Gazan. Even if Israel was like not trying to be moral and anything, there's no benefit in killing random Gazan civilians. They're trying their best to avoid killing Gazan civilians. There's no benefit in that. Oh, Uriel, thank you so much, Uriel, for the super chat saying thank you. Well, you're welcome, Uriel. Thank you for the super chat.
In Gaza, the West Bank.
Yeah, guys, if you want to support this channel, super chats are very helpful. Thank you.
And Lebanon every single day. And they sang songs about the children of.
Again, remember, guys, this is in Israel, in Lebanon, in where Israel has done some of the most targeted attacks ever when it comes to taking out terrorists with the lowest amount of collateral damage possible. Even then, they are saying like, "Oh, Israel is killing civilians." Fuck off, motherfucker.
The West Bank and Lebanon every single day, and they sang songs about the children of Gaza all being killed.
No.
Now, as David Clark,
that's not the chant that I saw. So fuck off.
Says Sky News changed that to more neutral terms as anti-Arab. This is wild. It's not just.
Yeah, it was just some of them being anti-Arab saying a chant that I would consider racist. That's it. It wasn't. They weren't calling for the slaughter of all Arabs. Fuck off with this exaggeration.
Racism is genocidal racism.
No,
what is more racist than calling for the extermination of an entire people based on their ethnic group? There's literally nothing more racist than that.
That's not what they were chanting. I'm done with this guy. This guy is boring me. I'm gonna just focus on the chat now. Let's see what you guys are saying. And thank you to Susie for sending that. It made me properly angry. France riots by Muslims coordinated. I don't know. I have to look into that. Let me see. Jonah is saying there are two stories going around about the Amsterdam riots. One side says that Israeli football fans attacked pro-Palestinian people, and the other side said they were attacking. Okay, so you guys saw even the other side that tries to blame the Jewish side. All they have is an image of one fucking flag being taken down. This is all they have. Some of them, when they going down the escalator, asking IDF to finish the job, and they called the terrorist side with the Arabs. So again, generalized language, which I don't like. I would consider that racist. And then one guy being somewhat intimidated and running away. On the other side, people were being chased down for being Jewish, going into their rooms, going into their hotel, going where they're sleeping, beating the crap out of them, asking people to say free Palestine if they want to not be beaten up, having evidence of a pre-organized plan to go Jew hunting, as they said themselves, promising that this will continue in other countries, specifically against Israeli citizens. So even based on what they have shown us, it's pretty obvious for us to see what has happened. This is obviously anti-Semitic, obviously an example for why we need Israel, for why we need Zionism. So yeah, you guys played yourself. You're just going to make the world, again, these idiots are only going to make more of the world realize why we need Israel. And again, they also show us that just like in Gaza and in Lebanon, when Israel performs better than any other fucking army in the whole world, even better than the United States when it comes to trying to reduce civilian casualties, even then, that you always still blame the Jews. It's actually far more fucking insane. Even when Jews are being beaten the fuck up, you still blame the Jews for it. You see how you see it? You see this? You still, even when Jews are being hunted down and beaten up, you still have to find a way to blame the Jews in a way that you would do with nobody else. When you, if somebody goes and even kills Jews, you just have to go find some Jews not being good people and be like, oh, well, look, they brought them upon themselves. And again, just like any group of people, you will be able to find some bad people, but you would not accept this with any other group of people. If somebody goes and finds some black people for being black and beat the crap out of them, and then I go and find examples of some other black people being bad people and show that to you, you will call me out. You will call me like, Armin, fuck you. You seem to be trying to justify the beating up of those black people by me going out and finding some black people who have done horrible things. That's an obvious attempt to justify the beating of black people. You will call me out for that. So let's see, get this. By the way, thank you, Sarah, for being here. Really appreciate you spending time highlighting people's comments and starring them for me to respond to. Jason saying, how do we defend against becoming desensitized? By reminding yourself that this is fucking shocking, that this is not acceptable, that I will not let this, I will do my part to not let this be normalized. And I will, when I talk about it, I will express shock. Expressing shock will shock you. Okay. Just by acting like this something is shock and not normal will convince you that this is shocking and not normal. As I'm saying, it seemed like they commemorated the, I don't know what this is. I don't know how to pronounce this. Anniversary, similar dates. Wait, I don't know how to pronounce that. So sorry about this. I'm going to start this and I'm going to look this up after. Bake Yourself is saying, need more people to report these channels and their individual videos, channels like the Electronic Intifada, which is a huge channel. Yeah, I don't know if that's a, do we want that? Do we want these people to go underground? Because if they go underground, we will have, don't know what the fuck we're dealing with. Okay, so let me see. How do you pronounce that? Chris? Oh, the night of the, you're talking about the night before things went to shit in Germany. Okay, yes. Does it have an English, the night of the broken glasses or something? Like that's what it's called, I think, huh? Yes, what is it called in English? Night of the Broken Glass. Okay, so yeah, that's what it's called. Yes, okay. Yes, it does. It is a good reminder. I didn't know the name, that name of it. I just know of it as the night of the broken glasses. Yes, it does remind us of that. However, let's not exaggerate, okay? Things are a lot better right now. Things are so much better right now because we have Israel, because we live in a liberal world where liberalism makes, here's the reason why we are living in a, like, even though we see stuff like this, I do want us to not panic too much, okay? We need to be somewhat worried, but not too worried. There's such a thing as to be too worried. We now have a global, liberalism has won to the point where we have so much military power. We have so much money. We have so much capitalism in our favor that it's hard to get to the point, get to the 1930s all the way to the 1950s, right? We're way too powerful. Even though sometimes it doesn't seem like it, the liberal world order is way too powerful to be reckoned with. So just remember that, because being too nervous might make you paralyze you, right? So we need to be worried. We need to respond to these things, but even we should just make sure that we don't exaggerate as well. So I already responded to that. So yeah, I should learn how to pronounce that. Gu is saying, is Shia a cuter version of Islam? If by cuter you mean deceptively cuter, yes, it is actually more. There's more deception in Shia Islam. It's like a monster that knows how to look like a cute puppy when it has to, right? It does a better job than Sunni Islam to act all cute and harmless when it needs to survive. Oh, thank you, Vic. Oh, this is a nice comment. I'm going to highlight this right now. Vic is saying, this is why I love you. I love you and your channel, Armin. You keep me grounded. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So let's go. Wow, there's so many comments that is Sarah has started. Ronnie saying, well, there is some sort of new wind in Europe. People are actually looking into these things. It doesn't seem feasible to start sending people with Dutch nationalities back to their countries. Yes. So that also goes back into, the fact that like France is responding, but 40,000, how many soldiers? Not 40,000. I forgot how many soldiers. With that many soldiers, not 40, that sounds insane number. What was the number? I think it was 4,000. Yeah, with 4,000 soldiers, yes, 4,000 police officers, sorry, to make sure that Israelis feel safe in Paris. That shows that we're better. We're in a good place. Arthur saying, the Jews beat the poor Muslims. Israel lie. The Jews beat the poor Muslims. I don't know what this comment means. Somebody translate. The Jews beat the poor Muslims. Israel. I don't know. You're either a troll or you're not very smart. I don't even know how to respond to that. I don't know. I think you were joking. I think that was a joke. I don't know. It flew over my head. It was a joke. Steve saying, Armin, you panic if you were a Jew in UK. Yes, I mean, I'm not saying don't panic. I'm just saying don't over panic. Like, obviously, the world is not a very friendly place to Jews. Okay, that's why we need Israel. I'm just saying that we need to be worried for Jews. I'm not saying we shouldn't be worried for Jews. Obviously, this channel constantly tells you that we need to be worried for Jews. I'm just saying we're not going to have the Holocaust happening again. Right? We need to be like, we're not going to have Nazi Germany fucking taking over. Like, we are too, I mean, it's very unlikely. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying the world is too powerful. The world liberal order is too powerful for fascism and something like the Holocaust to come back again. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't be worried. We need some sort of worried, but don't act like the world is going to come to an end. Of course, there's proper reason to worry. I just want to make sure we keep it at the right level. Okay, so Mega is saying Jews finally getting a taste of their own medicine. This motherfucker here is a good reminder. This is why we want comments like this to show that this is the motivation behind actions like this is actual anti-Semitism. We are basically a pro-Israeli channel here, and you could even see even in our live chat, which is mostly pro-Israeli, we have people like this coming, which is a good reminder of how deep anti-Jewish hatred is there in the world. That they're everywhere. They're fucking everywhere. So it's good that we can highlight them to show people how fucking viral this type of attitude is. Okay, Arthur is saying it was sarcastic. Well, then it flew over my head. Guys, sarcasm in the live chat. Sarah, don't start sarcasm, because I have no fucking idea what's happening with sarcasm. Like, so many times I'm looking at it like, what the fuck is that with it? So yeah, sarcasm. But guys, if you're doing sarcasm, please put an S at the end of it so I know what the fuck is happening, because a lot of times they're like, what the hell am I reading? I don't know. My sarcasm detectors are fucking broken. Okay, they do not work. Okay, this is not Arthur. This doesn't seem sarcasm. If it's sarcasm, but if you are being serious here, again, this is collectivism. You're saying my question is why Arabs let Islam dictate what is to be Arab. Okay, Arabs again are very different. You cannot generalize talking about Arabs, and also, you have to understand this is a human thing. You know, people falling for religion, people having collective, being tribal, having this is it's only recently that some people moved out of it. Like if you see, like, oh my God, why can't these countries act like Western countries? You remember, guys, the way you see some Islamic countries operate, this is how things were for the past 12,000 fucking years. All right, only in the past 200 years, some countries grew out of it. Okay, so this, what you see, the backwardness that you see in some cultures, is the norm of fucking humanity. So that's the norm of fucking humanity. So that's how the human mind is. It's not an Arab thing, it's a human thing. But the liberal world order has come up with some systems in place that we human in those systems, with applying those methods, can become better than our own nature. Okay, but don't essentialize this to somebody being Arab or anything else. This is just somebody being human. Okay, but we now have systems in place that we could be even better than what our natures were evolved to do. Okay, so don't start any more comments because I need to go. Okay, so look at this. This comment saying, even if Jews attack Armin's family in front of him, Armin will lick Jews' balls. He's a fake progressive. Well, if by progressive you mean one of those fucking Wokistani mujahideen, I wouldn't consider myself a progressive at all. I mean, I'm not. Progressivism and conservatism are should be used selectively. Some things we need to conserve, some things we need to progress out of. So I wouldn't consider myself a progressive. I would consider myself a progressive on certain issues that we need to progress out of, and a conservative on certain other issues, on things that we need to conserve and keep the same. So I'm not a general progressive, obviously. And okay, so if Jews attack Armin's family in front of him, Armin will lick Jews' balls. Okay, so I don't lick anyone's balls, to be honest, because I am painfully straight. But if you mean that I will still celebrate Jews, I don't celebrate Jews because they're Jews. I celebrate Jews for the same reason I celebrate Muslims, atheists, Christians, because they're humans. Okay, I celebrate humans. I don't celebrate Jews. If I focus on defending Jews, it's because the hatred against the Jews is a lot higher than other groups of people. But I celebrate all group of people. And if certain Jewish people attack my family, I wouldn't do the collectivist thing that you're doing, as if be anti-Jews as a whole. I would basically hate those specific Jewish people, and not because of their Jewishness. Their Jewishness would have nothing to do with it. If some Jews come and attack my family, I would hate those individuals, and them being Jewish or not Jewish will have nothing to do with my hatred for them. Them attacking my family would be part of the equation, would be the reason behind my hatred for those specific individuals. All right, and I would not blame other Jewish people for it. Like, look how stupid you are. Like, you are showing that you would basically hate Jews based on your comment. This is what collectivism looks like. He thinks the proper response to some Jewish people attacking my family is to hate all Jewish people. This is the difference between somebody who thinks individually and judges every individual based on what they have done, compared to this motherfucker who thinks the rational thing to do is to just collectively hate an entire group of people because of what some of them have done. I mean, this is the type of collectivist mindset that we're dealing with. So it's interesting how you thought that you're making a point here, but this is actually a really good example of how the collectivist mind operates. By the way, I'm not, just to be clear on this channel, I'm not completely against collectivism. I'm against collectivism when it comes to judging people. Collectivism, when it comes to teamwork and getting shit done, works. So when we have major projects, like, for example, I consider a nation state a project. When we need to work together as a team to get something done, that team, that in-group feeling that we have towards with each other, for each other, that collectivist mindset, that sense of belonging to something greater than myself, that collectivist mindset is helpful, has some utility in getting big projects done that single individuals cannot do. But collectivist mindset makes no sense when it comes to judging people. When it comes to celebrating somebody, like not celebrating, when it comes to rewarding somebody or blaming somebody for their actions, you judge them individually. But when it comes to creating large, giant teams of people towards a goal, then collectivism in that part, in that sense, it makes complete sense, in my opinion. So there's that. Let me see. This guy is an idiot. It's fun. I love idiots in the live chat. I don't know why. Will of Woke Sellouts is saying, when Muslim, is this guy serious or is he just pretending to be an idiot? Because when Muslims don't do something wrong, when Muslims do something, Armin, look how bad Islam is, blah, blah, blah. When Israel is doing something horrible, Armin, we can't do generalism, blah, blah, blah. This fake Iranian is so bad. Actually, I am known. You know why this idiot hand in the live chat, why he hates me? Because I do the same thing for Muslims. I actually, when it comes to judging Muslims, I say we have good Muslims, we have bad Muslims. I don't judge Islam based on what Muslims do. When some Muslims do certain horrible things, I don't blame the entire Muslim world for it. I don't blame all Muslims for it. In fact, we have on this channel, we have had many guests who are Muslims who we celebrate. I say I blame the entirety of Islam because it's not okay to generalize Muslims. It's okay to generalize Islam, because my understanding of Islam is what the Quran says or what the Quran and Hadith says. And if the teachings of Islam is what the Quran and Hadith says, then it's not a fallacy to generalize Islam, because Islam's teaching is what the Quran teaches. So that it's okay to generalize Islam. It's not okay to generalize Muslims. We have good Muslims. We have bad Muslims who follow Islam to try to follow Islam based on how we understand Islam. And we have mostly good Muslims who the mind virus of Islam hasn't completely corrupted their brain. We have Muslims who their humanity is fighting their Islam side of their mind. So within every Muslim, you have their humanity and their Islam. And with most Muslims, their humanity wins over their Islam. With most Muslims, so I do not generalize Muslims, and I do not judge Islam based on what Muslims do. I judge Islam based on what the Quran and the Hadith teaches. So I do not. I am consistent on that. So yeah, you do not know what the fuck you're talking about. I do not generalize Jews. I do not generalize Israelis. I do not generalize Muslims. I do not generalize Palestinians. Even when statistics shows like most people in Palestine support Hamas, I make it clear that it's not all. And even if 20% of them are, for example, anti-Hamas, that's a huge fucking number. That's millions of fucking people. So I use statistics. I don't generalize. Guys, I'm being very responsible with my do you guys agree that I am very, I'm sure sometimes I say something that is not correct and it gets, I'm careful. It's not going to be complete. Sometimes I make something that if somebody points out to me, like Susanna sometimes points out to me like, oh, you shouldn't have said it like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. That's not the best way to put it. But I do a very good job when it comes to when it comes to having a good standard, a good consistent standard, to be pro-human, anti-religion, to be calling out religions, but not generalizing it on all the people who have been labeled by it. This channel has done a very good job in finding the right balance. I think this channel needs to be celebrated for that. Show me there are not that many other channels that are spend this much in details finding out the exact right balance to make sure that we get this right. And this is one reason why this channel might not grow as much, because it takes effort, and it also takes effort to explain it, and makes a lot of people not happy. Like, a lot of people, when you're anti-Islam, they want you to also come here and condemn all Muslims, and we don't do that. And that loses us a lot of followers. Or the other side, like if you're supporting Israel, they want you to basically not call out, if some Israeli politician says something racist. Like, I'm a Zionist, I'm pro-Israeli, but if an Israeli politician says something racist, I'm going to call it as fucking racist. And that loses you some followers. Some followers who are, you want you to be supporting Israel, they want you to just be completely tribal and then be 100%. And I don't do that. And that's why we also lose some people from that side. So if this channel, but it has accepted a major cost to itself for the sake of getting things right. So I think that deserves some celebration. That deserves some support. Anyways, I gotta go. Yeah, let me see. Jason, I think is saying, Jason, he has a small percentage of Jews is a small percentage of like 16 million. A small percentage of Muslims is a small percentage of 1 billion. At 5%, we're talking about 800 versus 50 million. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. But also the percentage is higher, right? So, guys, the problem with Islam is not just that it's actually more disgusting than other religions. I consider all religions to be disgusting, okay? But Islam is more disgusting, to be honest. But it's not just that. Even if they were all the same level, the problem with Islam is that a higher percentage of people that have labeled themselves follow it. Because of liberalism, more people from other religions have come up with ways to act like their religion is saying something else, okay? Even though it doesn't, because they want to be closer to the modern liberal standards. Islam has more, there are more scripture within Islamic scripture, there are more safeguards against that, right? So a higher percentage of Muslims are closer, not completely, but a little bit closer to what Islam wants you to be like. And that's why even a small percentage of a huge number of people, that is cause for major concern, right? But yeah, I agree with generally I agree with Jason, what Jason is saying. So anyways, let me know if you agree with me. If you disagree with me, leave it in the comments. And again, thank you so much for Sarah being here, highlighting your comment. Guys, say thank you to Sarah, because she was here for an hour and a half just highlighting your comments. I really appreciate that. And also leave a comment after the show is over with what you think about what I said. If this channel is going the right way, if you're focusing on the right things, if you have any suggestions, if you have any feedback, if you have any disagreements. I try to spend time reading as many comments. I don't read, you know how some YouTubers tell you that they read all the comments? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't read all the comments. I'm trying to be honest, okay? But I try to read as many as I possibly can. So I do spend time, I'm being honest, I do spend time going through the comments, okay? Even if I don't get to every single one of them. So please leave me some feedback for generally this channel in the comment section. It also helps the algorithm. It helps grow this channel. And if you also think that this channel is doing a good job in finding the right balance, then recommend this channel. Tell people to come and subscribe to Atheist Republic. We need this channel growing, okay? Because I see so much content out there, and I think like most of them are not doing what we're doing here, okay? So this channel is needed. We need a louder voice, and you could be part of that equation in getting us there. Anyways, I'm going to get out. The next stream probably is going to be highlighting those people. You know how I want to humanize the people in Gaza? Okay, I want to make sure that we don't treat them as all like, okay, they're all freaking Hamas sympathizers. I'm always looking for excuses and videos to humanize the people in Gaza, okay? To make sure that even though that we know what's happening to them is unfortunately Hamas's fault, it's not Israel's fault, it is still important for us to consider every single civilian death in Gaza as a tragedy. So we should support IDF in what it's doing, but we should not forget how big of a tragedy is for every civilian that is dying in Gaza. So I try to find ways to make sure that we remember that we need to show sympathy for people in Gaza as well. And now I found the best video to do that. And that will probably be the next video, the next stream that we're doing. So unless something else happens, okay? But yeah, that look forward to that next stream. All right, guys, bye. Mwah. Love you guys. No, I'm trying to be honest here. I only love the people who have liked the stream. If you have not liked the stream, then not only do I not love you, I am at awe at how at the kind of a person you are. Like I spent an hour and a half doing a live stream for you, and you are not spending half a second. I know you might be washing the dishes, but honestly, it takes 5 seconds to just dry your hand and hit the like button. If you're walking the dog, okay, the only people who are not liking that I would accept is if both of your hands are being used, like you have your coffee in one hand and you're walking your dog, and it's really troublesome to like the stream, then fine, okay? But the rest of you, I do not love you. I do not care for you. I do not even like you. I might even hate you if you're not liking the stream, okay? Just do it. It helps the channel. Anyways, bye. Stay liberal. All right.